Nigeria in a decisive moment, to be or not to be. Nigeria in a decisive moment, to be or not to be. Never in our history has our nation been so divided and mired in bitter agitations. Across every divide is the deafening clamor of those who are saying Nigeria is finished and those who insist that our nation still has a great and bright future. Today, our nation is torn between great optimists and patriots who believe in the future of a new Nigeria of great promises, rooted in love and justice and guided by exemplary leadership and vision. And those who believe in one Nigeria, but insisting that restructuring and regionalization is the only hope to Nigeria's myriad of crises. Yet, there's another category of Nigerians who are adamant that there's no future for Nigeria, and so everyone must go their respective ways, or we pull down and destroy the nation. Unfortunately, while Nigerians are busy deciding whether to go forward or backward, our nation is not only burning, but becoming more and more complex, insecure, and tasteless. My focus here is not about who is right or wrong, who is justified or who is not. There's hardly anyone without his or her strong reasons and feelings, and I think this we must respect. The real question for me is, what is the root of our national backwardness, divisiveness, and pessimism? How did we get here? And I think this is what should engage us. Now, if there was justice, equal opportunities, and great progress in our nation, if we have succeeded in accomplishing extraordinary national results for the benefit of all since independence and as a nation, could Nigerians still have been adamant about their verdict of no future and therefore to your tent, O Israel? Now, how socially, culturally, and politically homogeneous and integrated are our respective tribes and religions across our nation today? How much love do we have for even our townsmen and women? Despite our ethnic, religious, and tribal bigotry and persuasions, which part of our nation is spared the anguish and spectacle of socio-economic and political betrayals, inequalities, backwardness, and violent crimes? How honest and persuaded are we Nigerians over the prospect of one indivisible nation under God? What part has each and every one of us played to advance the ideal nation we also desire? I believe no enlightened and well-meaning person will see the call for true federalism or agitation for equitable society in a heterogeneous nation as ours as a wrong demand. But I'm more persuaded, however, that the fundamental issue of our national crisis is far beyond the question of structural justice or that of injustice. In the midst of our raging agitations, I think many of us are missing the real point, therefore at risk misjudging both our challenges and our prospects. We must master our problem for us to be able to resolve it. Nigeria's challenge, I maintain, is not the problem of tribal or religious differences, nor the absence of true federalism. These are mere symptoms and dangerous distractions. Those agitating for Nigeria's divide and those violently opposing have the same problem. And it's a problem of fear, self-doubt, and mistrust. Nigeria's central problem is human capacity crisis. Not capacity of skills and IQ, because we have all of those in abundance, but of identity and character crisis. We are a people haunted not just by our earthly differences, but by personal insecurity, fear, self-doubt, and unexpectedly low aspiration, arrogance, and short-sightedness, all of which are direct result of identity failure. A people whose majority are driven by expediency and impulsive solution orientation, with hardly any value for birthright, nor capacity for far-sighted and collective goals. This is simply due to the trauma of life without a settled sense of innate self-meaning, personal freedom, and national clarity and direction. Our failings as a nation is not because Nigeria's unity and self-actualization is impossible or that we are not capable of. No, but because we refuse to rise to muster the courage, conviction, and self-sacrificing spirit to say yes with our heart to one united, indivisible Nigerian nation and to fight for it, notwithstanding our fears and our differences. We choose not to believe in ourselves enough to dare to see, dream, and inspire one another with enough reason to live and to flourish as one people. Nigeria today is nothing but our lack of resolve to advance a nation of great vision, purpose, and values, far stronger than our fears, doubts, and selfishness, to define the very basis of our collective pride, faith, and hope as a nation. A nation without a fundamental basis of national meaning and mission definitely cannot produce citizens capable of personal conviction, common aspiration, and shared values and destiny. This is our challenge. This is our challenge. Now let's look at the far-reaching consequences of identity crisis. Without a deep sense of self-identity, we naturally develop a victim, entitlement, and self-centered mentality, as well as arrogant, aggressive, and reactionary tendencies. With identity crisis, you are either challenged by superiority or inferiority complex, a personality disorder rooted in pride, survival instinct, and selfishness or self-interest. Both identity crisis and pride must render you obstinate, thoughtless, unreasonable, and ultimately blind. A prideful person neither listens nor learns. He is deaf to reason and consequences. The only reason people are proud and backward is because they have no rootedness in spiritual understanding of who they are, nor vital connection to their divine origin. Therefore, incapable of deep emotional character, control, and selflessness. What to expect? Without a valid sense of self-identity, we are incapable of far-sightedness, progressive, and constructive engagements. Accordingly, we are forced to thrive by raw emotions, envy, hate, rivalry, and divisiveness, as well as by corrupt, reactionary, and coercive tendencies. And I think this is what we see all over the place, north, east, west, and south. Result is a people not only void of capacity for objectivity, goodness, and sound judgment, but without ability to build a healthy, cohesive, and thriving society, no matter their endowments. Little wonder we have so much resources, east, west, north, and south, and yet we're so poor. Identity is neither about tribe nor religion. Our primary identity is neither about tribe nor religion. We are made of and out of love. That's our origin. That's our root. That's how you came into this earth. Love breeds life, freedom, joy, peace, energy, inspiration, unity, and flourishing society. But pride, hate, and wickedness must produce death, toil, pain, sickness, and backwardness. And this is the picture across all Africa. Yes, no one will sit by and watch acts of aggression, unprovoked aggression against himself or those of his or her kinsmen and do nothing. But here is the real issue. Whether we unite, fight, or disintegrate is not what is the fundamental solution to our human and national limitations. But first, a determination to resolve our failing human character, our self-doubt, and declining humanity by realizing who we are and embracing the eternal laws of life. There is a way man was created to thrive and to live. All we need to do is to discover and embrace it. And for us to achieve that, we must be ready to lay down our pride and our fears. Otherwise, our fragmentation will have no end in a world driven by fear, selfish ambition, competition, survival of the fittest, and relentless ego. In my small world, where I come from, in my local government and state, we are socially, economically, and politically fragmented, divided, and aggressive as much as north and south of Nigeria. Now, here is the issue. Those without self-belief and great-heartedness live and condemn themselves only to their small world. But those with a fundamental sense of self-awareness are no quitters nor given to aggression or recline, but they are self-assured, they are collective in their orientation, they are open, they are dynamic, they are positive, humble, objective, they are also constructive, they are flexible, they are selfless, patient, they are equally tenacious and far-seeing. It was said of Mandela that he was a man who was strong on his principles, but flexible in his approach. And then you could see the result of his leadership. How crucial is the human identity and nationality? It takes identity and value for birthright. One, to confer legitimacy, inheritance, and recognition on every individual as a citizen of a nation, without which you are illegitimate. Two, it takes identity and value for birthright to realize our human meaning, freedom, and astonishing potentials. Three, it takes identity and value for birthright to derive your root, source of inspiration, self-assurance, courage, and tenacity. Also, for you to walk in self-belief and establish your vital connection to your reality, without which you're fragmented. To resolve our Nigerian challenge, what we must do. To resolve our Nigerian challenge, what we must do. As a Nigerian, you must be prepared to face your fears and to resolve your identity and character crisis. It takes self-realization, spiritual self-realization, and belief in yourself to become a person of fundamental meaning and power. Now, meaning we must come to self-realization first as an individual, knowing we are created perfect, complete, as a valid and essential entity with intrinsic self-value, power, and self-existing capabilities. This is how we're created. Outside our external, tribal, and religious identity safety nets, you are first a person before you are any other thing. And until each and every one of us Nigerians realizes this, we will never be able to establish our space under the sun and achieve great and extraordinary accomplishments. Second, you must come to terms with your identity and destiny as a Nigerian. As a matter of birthright, we were born here. This we must do for Nigeria to become our business and for us to receive legitimacy and recognition and strength to thrive and build our nation and our lives. You see, I tell you something. Without legitimacy, it is impossible for you to be rooted and for you to be established in your nation and to thrive. This is the crisis we are facing as a people. Now, thirdly, we must be ready to renew and expand our minds. Little minds create little worlds and little nations. Without identity and a sense of destiny, you have no legitimacy to thrive, flourish, or live a life of true relationship, trust, and power. To reset Nigeria, every Nigerian must determine to realize and embrace his or her individuality as well as his or her identity and destiny as a Nigerian citizen. Every great nation stands on three pillars. 1, human individuality. 2, diversities. And 3, interdependence, or they fail. All it takes to elevate humans from the state of instinct and survival to the stage of who we truly are, humans capable of self-accountability, responsibility for one another, and drive for audacious collective goals, is a bold national philosophy and mission, purposefully and honestly motivated and pursued to advance the freedom, hope, and dignity of all citizens without discrimination. Now, what is at stake in Nigeria's unity? Please, I need every Nigerian to listen and hear me. Nigeria can never become a leader of the black race if we fail to rise to the challenge of national greatness to build a truly united Nigerian nation. Meaning, we will never fulfill our providential purpose of the leading global power of Africa's hope, nor end the honor of the world as a destined African leader. Nigeria's actualization is not a choice. I believe with all my heart that Nigeria is a nation of prophetic destiny that must be actualized now for the sake of the emancipation of ourselves and the entire African race, our circumstances of birth and present situation notwithstanding. A people must come into this world and be in a nation one way or the other. Now let's listen to Nelson Mandela, our great icon. In quote, "The world will never respect Africa until Nigerians earn that respect. The black people of the world are looking up to Nigeria to be a source of pride and confidence. Nigeria's citizens should be made to understand this." Quote close. This was Nelson Mandela speaking to the destiny of Nigeria. And I'm shocked that we can see our own destiny as a people. But the time has changed now. Let it be known that the price of our differences and the circumstances of how we came about as a nation is not as important and to be compared with the hope and reward of a united and prestigious Nigerian nation, which our character, collective resolve, and hope can produce for ourselves, for the whole black race, and the entire world. It is our responsibility as a people to earn the right of other nations to look up to us by challenging the limits of our character and leadership and surmounting our limitations. Nigeria's actualization is a matter of destiny, dignity, and honor, rather than a matter of convenience or feelings. Let it be known to all Nigerians today that our challenges and limitations are not the problem of our tribal, ethnic, nor religious differences. No, it is not. But our choice not to see beyond our entrenched fears, doubts, and selfish models of survival, which we created and perfected and called the Nigerian factor. Surviving anyway. Now, not because we are a bad people, no, but because of the trauma and limitations of our identity crisis. to overcome the Nigerian challenge and remake our nation. Our belief, love, and zeal for Nigeria and for one another must far outweigh the odds of identity crisis, individual and group survivor choices that we have made. And this power is within us. This power is within us. It is time to reject fear, anger, resentment, mistrust, selfishness, wickedness, all of which have held us captive and hostage and backward as a nation. This is the time to embrace love, understanding, faith, and hope. The time is now. Now for the records. Let every Nigerian hear me. It shall be recorded in history for us that it was in the power of today's generation of Nigerians to rise and build one powerful, united Nigerian nation of remarkable character and global power that recognizes and cares for all of us for the sake of the black race and our future generations, rather than continue to pursue the agenda of self-survival and divisiveness and remain hateful and backward for goodness sake. Nigerians, no one is a winner in a nation in flames and in chaos. Nigeria's destiny is in our power to decide. It is time to awake. It's time to wake up to self-realization, to our divine destiny, an opportunity for true greatness. This is a deciding moment for Nigerians. I'll repeat this quote again. It's my famous quote. We choose to go to the moon not because it is easy, but because it is difficult. The famous words of President J.F. Kennedy that propel America not just to the moon, but to the leadership of the whole world. No nation happens by chance. God bless Nigerians and all friends of Nigeria and our fatherland. And I pray that those who are hurting be healed, that those who are helpless today receive strength, and let the weak say, I am strong, because it is a new day and a new dawn. The sun is already shining for Nigerians. Whether you are a Muslim or Christian or pagan or whoever you are, this is the reality of our time in spite of the crisis that has befallen our nation today. My name is Benjamin Alika.
If you are dissatisfied enough with the Nigerian situation as I am, if you are determined to become a patriot and a transformational leader, a nation builder, if you desire to know how together we can unite and transform Nigeria into a nation of remarkable character and global power, regardless of the gloomy state of our nation today, please register for the Sunrise Nigeria, an online leadership, citizens, and nation building workshop every Saturday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., as well as 774 mandates. To register, please visit our website, www.nigerianow.me. The time is now.